Annyeonghaseyo and Ohayo gozaimasu to my friends and family in Korea and Japan. I miss you, love you, see you soon. I'm excited about that. Well, I want to welcome everybody. This is episode 4 of the Kdrama Coffee Clutch. And if you're new, welcome. I'll let you know that we have been in the past doing an overview of the different genres. And this week we're going to do a deep dive, and it's the first time I've done it. And it's going to be on a rom-com because that's the first genre we talked about. And when I was prepping for this, I realized it's a 12-hour series. It's not a long one for most people, but it is 12 hours, and it's kind of hard to do a deep dive for 12-hour show in an hour and a half. So I'm going to split it. We're going to do episodes 1 through 6 and then 7 through 12 next week because as it is tonight, I have 16 pages of notes. So that's just 1 through 6. So anyway, I have some really strong thoughts on episodes 11 and 12, and I want to give them their due. And I want to see what you think about the last 2 episodes, especially of Business Proposal. Let's see, I am going to start tonight giving you a little bit of information about the actors also, so that's going to take a little time. So that's why we're just doing 1 through 6 tonight. Anyway, let's see. I chose Business Proposal because it doesn't get real heavy like most rom-coms. It's kind of a rom-com light. Kind of good for a beginner to dip their toes into rom-coms because it doesn't get too heartbreaking like some. And so does it have a triangle? Yeah, but I don't think it's one that's really threatening in the usual way. I think it's just there to kind of show you her getting over a heartbreak, and then it is used as a big turning point later on. But it's not so much of the typical triangle. I'll just say that. Chables, yes. We have 2. We actually have 4. 4 chables that are in it, and usually the chables are interested in their kids and their grandkids, kids getting married to help their business. They don't care if there's love connection or not. It's all a business decision. This conglomerate marries their kid to this conglomerate. Now they rule the world. So it's in this one we have one that is he still shows that he cares about the happiness of his grandson. But let's see. Actions speak louder than words. We'll see how that all turns out. And then there is one that is pretty typical. He has a daughter, and he expects her to marry for business. And she says that she wants to marry for love. And she's strong and she's independent. And so, go girl power. I was usually it's not that way. Usually they cave because they know what their place is. But the one thing I really thought that Business Proposal excels in, as far as a rom-com, is that it starts out with really good humor. And we get to touch on that tonight. I'm so excited. It is really one of the funniest openings of a rom-com. I think I just die every time, and I don't know how many times I've seen this putting this together because I have clips, and I had clips and edit and render, and I'm into all sorts of things, and I laughed every time anyway. So let's introduce the actors. Okay, I have him already up here. On Hyo Sup. also known as Paul On. He is real popular right now. We'll get you to know why here in a minute if you don't already know. He was born in Korea, and then when he was 6 years old, his family immigrated to Canada and became Canadian citizens. And then, oh, I forgot to ask you, what beverage are you drinking? I'm drinking herbal tea tonight. I'm going to have to take a sip. mm. Immigrated to Canada. And then when he was 17, he left his family in Canada and moved back to Korea to start his career as a K-pop singer. So that was his first thing he tried to do, and he was in training for, I think it's called GOT7. It's GOT7 for 3 years, and then he thought it was too stressful, so he said, "No, not going to do it." He ended up, wanting to act, but before he started doing that, he was in a group with three other actors, and it was called 101, and it was spelled ONEOONE. Now remember that, okay? Because when I was doing this, I'm like, I wonder what that's all about. Anyway, they released one song, but they were really just focusing on their acting. And so he's did a lot of supporting roles, but in 2017, he got his first lead role in Queen of the Ring. He went back and sang a song with a different group called Soul, Sound of Ultralight. Now, I'm only telling you this one because, again, it was with three other actors. And one of them is Cha Eun-woo. Do you know who Cha Eun-woo is? Or Cha Eun-woo is? He's in military service right now, but he did True Beauty, Gangnam Beauty, It's a Good Day to Be a Dog, Wonderful World, all these things. He is hot, hot, hot right now, and he left to go military service. So just recently, so he's going to be out of pocket for a year and a half. Okay, back to Paul. Let's just call him Paul for now. He started in 2018. He starred in Still 17, and he won Best New Actor. Pretty good. He only did a couple of supporting roles, but then he went right into, getting a role in here. He's not the lead in this, but he is one of the leads, and so he beat out the other guy. If he was up for it, he won Best New Actor. I think that's great. Okay, then in 2020, he was in the second season of Dr. Romantic. Let's see what he looked like then. How about that? A little wavy hair. And he won Best New Actor in Television for his role in Dr. Romantic. How about that? Then he kicked it up a notch. He's in Lovers of the Red Sky. This is totally like nothing he's done before and maybe since. It is, I talked about it once before when I gave it as an example. It is a supernatural fantasy, historical romance, no comedy in it. It really is good. It's really hard to explain. There's a lot that goes on. We're not going to talk about it, but he did 3 different roles. He played 3 different roles in that movie, and he won an Excellence Award, an actor in miniseries genre fantasy drama, and him and his leading lady got Best Couple for 2021 in the SBS Drama Awards. So, yes. So then along comes, he does the 180 and does Business Proposal. Yay! I bet he was so relieved after working so hard on that one that he could. I'm sure he worked hard on this one too, but if you see Lovers of the Red Sky, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, he won the Confidence Award at the, I guess, A Awards. I don't know if it's Asian Awards, but in 2023 he did second season Dr. Romantic, and A Time Called You. And I will be honest, there he is on the bottom. And he's on the top too. He likes to play these things that he does multiple roles. So I started watching it. I can't remember where I was in the series. It was really confusing. Now, I'm not brilliant, but I'm pretty smart. And um, I was thinking, what is going on? Now, I may have been a little distracted from time to time, but for the most part, I was thinking, what is going on? So I stopped and I did a Reddit and Google and what is going on with this. And I read one explanation and I'm like, what? So I read another explanation. I'm like, oh, oh, okay. So I might go back to it, but it's one that you really have to, I don't think you really know what's going on until it gets a little further into it. And I didn't have the patience at the time. But, whew, okay. So, it was popular, but it's a hard one. You have to think. Okay, then he did a film. And this one looks interesting. I haven't seen it yet. Omniscient Reader, The Prophecy. Mm-hmm. But what you might know him from? K-pop Demon Hunters. Big thing, right? So he's the lead demon. So there he is. That's what he looks like when he's animated. He doesn't sing in this, which is strange because he can sing. He has actually done. He sang "Love Maybe," which is, you can look it up. Him and his co-star, which we'll talk about later, did a little cover of it. Um, he was on Park Bo Gum's Cannibal, the season or whatever, and he can sing. He sang on that show, and but what he's well known for, he has, let's count them, 16 acting awards between 2017 and 2023. So in 6 years, he's gotten 16 acting awards. So he's found his niche, I think. And since he's Canadian citizen, he won't have to take off to go to the military. He's excused from that, and so he won't have any breaks. We'll probably see him a lot coming up. So how about that? Tonight, he's the lead in Business Proposal. He plays the Chable, and it is Gang Tamu is his name, and he's the newly appointed president of GoFood. Newly appointed, remember that. Okay, now our leading lady, Kim Sejong. Okay, she is the one I have circled in right in the middle. There she is. She's quite young. She has an interesting life. Her mom and dad divorced when she was young. Her mom raised her and her brother, single parent. When she was 16, she entered a contest to be a K-pop idol. She went to the final round. She didn't make it, but she did get a contract. And then that's when she was 16. Then she entered another contest, and she did come in second. So she was put in the group. And if you look at it, I don't know. Like I said, I just saw this and I thought, I wish I'd seen it earlier. It looks like I period O period I period. But I wonder if it was 101. Like the other guy, 101. But this obviously isn't that group. They did one album and disbanded because they all had contracts with their original agents and agencies. So they did one thing and then they kind of disbanded. And then shortly after, here she is when she was in the debut on the left. I guess I'm looking at it on the left. She's in white. They start out a little flouncy and cutesy and all that stuff, and then 4 years later she says we became cool. So this is the group she was in, but at the same time she also signed to be a solo artist. So she unlike Paul on or he he really went the acting route, and she really has really kind of stayed in her lane with the music. She has actually done songs on the soundtracks of Crash Landing on You. Let me see, I have the list here. Crash Landing on You, Record of Youth, Uncanny Counter. Okay, and then in 2022, she starred in Business Proposal. It was the highest viewership for a Monday Tuesday drama in 2022. It was fourth overall most watched series for the year, and it was the first Korean made TV series simultaneously shown on TV and Netflix. Eighth overall for non English shows on Netflix in 2022. I mean, overall, there's a lot of Netflix that are not English. And she released an acoustic version of the song Love Maybe. I love that song. Okay. Anyway, in 2023, she released her first album. She wrote 8 out of the 11 songs, so she's a songwriter too. And she started a solo concert tour. And let me show you a picture. Oh, well, there she is. All right, that's her album. And she started doing theater. So we really haven't seen her on the screens since Business Proposal. She's really been focusing on music, and now she's doing theater. So good for her. She's trying different things, and I'm she made me laugh in this. She's a really good actress. I hope she does something soon for us. She plays Shin Hadi, H-A-R-I, and since there's no R in Hangul, it's like a D. So if you say her name Hadi, uh, it kind of sounds like Hottie. I wonder what they were thinking. Anyway, she. It's interesting there are two leads. Both started in music. He went acting. She went more into music, but they ended up in Business Proposal, and they have really good chemistry. People always are thinking that they're married or getting married, all from this. So, um, but speaking of chemistry, I'm gonna have to take a drink. Our second couple, whoa, those who've watched Business Proposal probably know what I'm talking about. The first one. Okay, this is Kim Min Kyu. Okay, I was gonna call him Hubba Hubba, but I realized that's sexist, so I won't do that. But and then he has had bit parts like 2013, 2015. He started getting a little more recognition in 2017, and he's done all sorts of support roles in 2018, 2019. His first leading role was from this, and looks pretty nice. It was historical, Queen, Love and War. And then in 2020, he did another supporting role. See, this he was lead. And then he did a supporting role in Backstreet Rookie. And I usually will crop these other people out, but look, it's Ji Chang Wook. Who can do that? And next to him, oh my gosh, she's from, oh, I just love her. Anyway, so he plays an employee that broke up something in the convenience store, and he got his face on TV, and then he became this model and actor and everything. So, his looks helped him out. Then he was in So I Married the Anti-Fan, Snowdrop, and then he came to Business Proposal. And the following year, he was a lead again in, this is from the same thing. This is Heavenly Idol. This is when he's leader of a temple, and then, somehow he gets pulled down, and he's an idol. He doesn't dance. I don't know if he sings. Yeah, he does sing, but he's fish out of water. It's an interesting. I don't know how to put this. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if the production value was low or if it was the story, but I was disappointed, not of him, but for him, because I thought his agent management team could have found something better for him. Um, but right now he's in military service, so he's coming back, getting out, I believe, like December 1st. So maybe we'll see him in something soon, something more mature for him or something. I don't know. Yeah, you can check it out. Heavenly Idol. He plays Cha Sung Hoon, and he is Temu's secretary and closest friend. And that's all I'm going to say right now because I don't want to give it away. And then his love interest is, I just put them all together. His interest is So Ina. And someone made this really interesting collage of all the things that she'd done, except they left out Beautiful Love, Wonderful Life. And the only thing, let's see, she won. Her first lead role was in 2018, Sunny Again Tomorrow. She got Best New Actress. That's not up there either. And then she got the lead in Beautiful Love, Wonderful Life and won Excellence Award for Actress in a Serial Drama. She's good. Then she did all these others that we can see up there, and they're all Mr. Queen, Twinkling Watermelon. She was awesome in Twinkling Watermelon. Um, I watched Oh My Ghost Clients, and I haven't finished it because it's one of those that each episode's a different story, and it's about labor issues and ghost, and I had other things that I really wanted to watch, so I haven't gone back to it. Not saying she's not good in it, because she is good, but not my cup of tea. Oh, cup of tea. Okay, she plays Hadi's best friend, Jin Youngsa, and so she happens to be a chaebol light. Now that's not a word. She's the daughter of a CEO of a conglomerate, so she's rich, smart, but she wants to be a successful, independent woman and choose love on her own. So, there we go. And before we start, tonight's clips. That's my APA citing of the clips we're going to use tonight. So we're all legal. And, okay, so let's start. We're going to talk about, let me switch screens. Here we go. Okay. Not going to let you see it. Okay. Okay. So this is story. We're ready. Because all chaebols, when I talked about it, they want their grandkids or kids to marry other rich folk. And Temu's grandfather, his father and mother have passed away. So his grandfather really wants great grandchildren, and but he does want his grandson to be happy, which is so unlike them. But he wants him to go on all these blind dates, and he just got back from, I think he was in the States, and so he's just landed in Korea, and his grandfather's like, come on, got to get on some blind dates, got to have those great grandbabies. He's really excited, so he's like, you've got to go on these blind dates, and he's like, I don't have time, and he's kind of hesitant, doesn't want to do it. Now, Hadi's best friend, Youngsa, now he is chaebol through and through. He doesn't care what his daughter likes or doesn't like. He has set up her to go on many blind dates, and unbeknownst to him, she's been sending her friend to sabotage the dates. And there are several scenes about different things she's done in the past. She has like a shaman, she's shaking things, and she's seeing ghosts, and she's doing all sorts of crazy things, and these men are running, which is what her friend wants. So, but she's tired of doing that, so she's done with it. And then she had a little accident, got in trouble, and someone basically not suing her, but she has to pay the money, and she doesn't have the money. So her friend makes her a deal that she can't refuse. So she says, okay, I'll go on this one more. Okay, so we've got the grandfather and the father setting him up, and it's that night. It's happening. And so He said Temu told his grandfather, I'll go on 10. And so he set him up for that date. So let's see what their first impression is of when they first meet each other. Now, Temu and Hadi, but she's not Hadi, she is Jungsa. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I stopped it and now it's mad at me. Hold on, let me switch out, come back. Why is it not working? This is my favorite part too. This is interesting. You all saw it working just a second ago. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
김영사 씨?
네. 뭐야? 왜 이렇게 잘생겼어? 쩌는데?
김영사 씨 맞죠?
네.
Okay. Now remember, she's been going on all these dates, and they're usually old, ugly, loser types. And she looks at him, and it's like, oh, he's hot. What I've left out is that she continues to look at him and thinks, whoa, they're giving her inner dialogue. So yeah, she thinks he's something. I look at him and say, what's going on with the hair? You know, he's in his business attire, so he's got his hair, cut or parted and greased and all that stuff. But she says, she thinks he's pretty hot. But she does not know at this point. Oh, I forgot to tell you, she works at GoFood, where he's the newly appointed president. No one has seen him. He didn't show up for his own inauguration. So no one has seen him, and he doesn't know her, of course. So they sit down and they exchange business cards. And at that point, she realizes, I'm in trouble here because I work for this company and he could see me. So she excuses herself. She hightails it out. She goes to the bathroom. She's trying to call, I can't do this. I can't do this. And no one's answering. And so then she realizes, I need this money. I'm just going to suck it up and go back. So I think we're going to have a problem here. We're going to see it again? Yes. Why are you doing that?
네.
So we get to see it again.
뭐야? 왜 이렇게 잘생겼어? 쩌는데?
김영사 씨 맞죠?
네.
Okay, now here we go.
It's so hot. 실내가 좀 덥네요.
Watch him. He looks around like, is anybody else seeing this? Oh my gosh. She just tosses off that jacket and just exposes her arm skin. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. She thinks there's no man that would want to marry a woman who's showing skin on the first date. So she thinks he's gonna be scared. Well, let's see.
제가 좀 몸이 뜨거운 편이라서.
팔에 닭살이 쫙 돋아 있습니다만.
말렸다. 제가 원래 좀 닭살이 심해요.
Okay. So he's noticing everything. He even notices the goosebumps on her arms. And she's like, oh, no, I'm just like that, So she's like flipping her hair. But she's thinking, oh, he might catch on, so I've got to really kind of lay it on thick. So what I don't have is that she starts talking to her shoes and her purse, calling them her babies. Oh, I love you, little bird, my babies. Because she wants to appear materialistic, thinking this will turn him off. she looks over at him and he's texting on his phone some work test. He's completely missed this whole thing. And she's like, ah. now, now what is she going to do? Oh my gosh. Oh, here she goes. She tells him, I can tell you're not that into me. So, why? Oh, are we going to play this game? Ugh, why did it do this? Okay, she takes off her jacket. There we go.
제가 좀 몸이 뜨거운 편이라서
Maybe get to see him all the time.
팔에 닭살이 쫙 돋아 있습니다만.
말렸다. 제가 원래 좀 닭살이 심해요.
Here it comes. I know you're not into me.
Samantha and Rachel 굉장히 섭섭해요.
사만다랑 레이첼이요?
Okay. So I was thinking, the first time I saw that was who I was thinking, who's Samantha and Rachel? I mean, is she going to start seeing people? I didn't know where she was going with this, and neither did he. But here she goes.
왼쪽이 사만다, 오른쪽이 레이첼이에요. 거금 1,000,000원씩 드린 애들이랍니다.
I just die every time. Samantha and Rachel. Oh my, why did she pick English names? But I don't know. But she's Samantha and Rachel are going to be sad. Oh my gosh, what an introduction! She really takes this job of sabotaging seriously. I'm telling you, the poor. Oh, here we go. Watch this guy. Well, he just can't.
아, 이런 또라이는 처음이지.
He's joking. He's joking. Oh my gosh, I mean, first of all, let's say great job, Sejong, which for playing this character. So she's going for it, outlandish, committed. She is great. Now, of course, again, she thinks this surely he is going to run, but no, he compliments her on her straightforwardness. He says it's such a novelty. Now she's like, oh my gosh, she's gonna really have to do something bold.
진짜요? 진짜로 제가 마음에 드세요? 우! 그럼 우리 룸 잡을까요?
Who is gonna marry a woman that suggests they get a room together on their first date? That's what she's thinking. I mean, she's played all her cards. This has got to be it. He is surely not going to have anything to do with her. But he looks down and he sees her foot. Her foot's she's just jittering. And so he realizes she's not going to, she's not serious here. But he says, okay, you played those cards. Here he comes.
룸이요.
네, 바로 본론으로 들어가자고. 어때?
You know what he does? He calls her on his bluff. He's like, all right. So he gets up and he goes and gets a room. And she is like, I need to run. Because she's thinking, what's going to happen? You know, she's like imagining all that stuff. And she's like, I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to leave because this guy's in it to win it. She was not expecting this, and especially from the new president of her company. He's like, yeah, I'll go get a room. The only thing that saves her is some crazy woman thinks that she's been sleeping with her boyfriend an hour ahead, and And so she gets distracted by that. So she has to run from this woman. So, oh darn, she doesn't get to go up to the room. Before she leaves, she tells the guy, just icing on the cake, I don't two-time people. Maybe 3 or 4 times. And then he brings that up later on. So, um, anyway, so I think this was so funny because it's truly so unexpected. And I mean, the writers must have had a great time coming up with what can she do that just shocks everybody. And I mean, when she brought up Samantha and Rachel, I'm thinking, are they ghosts? What? And then when she has all the little facial expressions, she did a really good job. So, as you can see, we're going to see a lot of clips here. Actually, over the next 2 weeks, we're going to see the whole thing, clips here and there. So if you haven't seen it and you want to not be spoiled anymore, then you can see this on YouTube when you've watched it. Or if you want to watch a little more, see if you know get interested in it a little bit, then that's great. If you watched it already, I hope you're having as much fun as I am. Anyway, it's so you've been warned. Second time, second time. Okay, so he gets in his car and he tells Sung Hyun, because Sung Hyun is his secretary, and the secretary drives. So he's driving him around, and he kind of tells him the highlights of the date. And Sung Hyun says, "That sounds like a waste of time." Tae-moo says, "Well, who knows?" Who knows? Then the grandfather calls him to find out about the date, because great grandkids. He finds out about the date, and he tells his grandfather that he's going to marry her. And Sung Hyun slams on the brakes of the car and almost gets in a wreck because he's like, "What did you just say?" He couldn't believe that, after hearing her behavior, that he tells his grandfather, "Yeah, I'm going to marry her." Oh my gosh. But we should have known when he said, "Who knows? Who knows?" Um, she goes home. Her family owns a chicken restaurant, and I'm just going to say it's her mother, father, and younger brother. They're a very close knit family. They're supportive. The younger brother always feels slighted, but you'll find out he really is a good younger brother. Um, let's see. They appear regularly throughout because they're her base camp throughout the series, but they're good people. But I don't want to be getting all off track on that. Okay, so the very next morning, less than 12 hours later, okay, Hottie is racing to the elevators where she works. They're still open and they're getting ready to close, so she goes to run into the elevators, and who is there but Sung Hyun, Tae-moo, and the grandfather. And she's like, and so she turns real quick to kind of like cover her head, her face, and they're like, "Are you gonna get in? Come on, get in. Just get in. Come on, we need to go. Get in, get in." And she's like, so she just kind of backs in and keeps her doing this with her hair, looking down. Um, and the grandfather says to Tae-moo, he says, "Are you really gonna get married?" She's hearing this. Bet she's thinking, to me? Are we talking about me right now? And they kind of shut that down. That discussion kind of got shut down. And then here's her floor. She goes to get off, and she drops her name tag. Tae-moo picks it up, and he looks at the name tag. 12 hours later, okay, he looks at the name tag, and he calls her name. Of course, she's got her back to, and she's like, "I've been caught," type of thing. And he goes, you left your name tag." And so she backs up with her arm behind her, just reaching for it because she can't let him see her face. And she grabs it and she runs off. Okay, so here's the deal. At first I thought, there's no way that he can't tell that's her. But then to be fair, this is the first time he wasn't expecting to see his Chableite, at work. She does wear a wig. It's a longer hair, a different color, and has little streaks in it. It's really cute. She's got hair about my length, um, and kind of brown red. So she has her hair is different, but her height's the same, her weight's the same, her voice is the same. She didn't talk very much, so okay, okay. But um, it wouldn't be funny unless it went on a little bit longer. So I'm gonna say he really didn't see her. He wasn't thinking about that she'd ever be there. So okay, I'll suspend belief. He didn't know it her. Okay. Um, Now the next clips we're going to show. Is it going to be the next? Let me see. I was going to tell you the second couple. Everybody I've talked about the second couple. Everyone says we want more of them. We want to see a spinoff of those two. They are the cutest, whatever couple. They have great chemistry. They really almost stole the show because they're that good together. And I almost took all their clips and made them their own little story, but I thought, no, I'll keep it the way it unfolds in the series. So uh, we're gonna meet Young Suh. That's the best friend. She's the Chableite. Father wants her to marry rich. She didn't want to marry, so she's doing her best just to ignore Daddy. She's in a convenience store, and a little boy has had a little permanent marker and you know hit her white skirt. And instead of going all Karen on him, she draws, takes whatever white and draws a little flower. Here, I'll show you. Okay, and watch who notices. Oh, I forgot to show you this.
시나리 씨,
뭐야? 날 왜 불러?
Here she goes.
예?
사원증 떨어졌습니다.
Back it up.
조심해. 감사합니다.
And she's off. Okay, so here, I'm sorry. I got excited about this.
이게 뭐게? 똥? 똥?
Okay, so here we've got this woman probably wearing a skirt that's hundreds of dollars or hundreds of wands and thousands of wands. And she doesn't lose her cool. She's really calm with the little boy. Explains that in the future be careful. You could hurt somebody's clothes, and it's whatever. And he's listening to all this because he's really impressed by the way he handled this. She handled the situation. Now, I was gonna say he's really smitten. But what I want to show you, did you notice when she left the convenience store, the name of the convenience store? I didn't either until I was putting this together. I'm going to play that. I hope it's the right one. Oh, it doesn't let me. Oh no, it didn't let me do that. Oh no, I have to scroll. Oh no. Ah, darn it. It didn't let me pause. Let me. I hope you're not getting sick. Okay, so there it is. See? Destiny. That is the name of the convenience store. Destiny. And it's them two. Oh, I never saw that before. And so I hope that has absolutely, look at him. I hope, oh, it's doing it again. It was working and now it's not. That's not going to be good, folks. I'm sorry about this. Why do these things? Okay, and there's Destiny. And, okay, now it's going to let me pause. Okay, who knows? Okay, so he's seen her. She has not seen him. She's been busy, right? She goes out walking in the street, realizes, oh, I left my keys back at the convenience store. She turns around, he runs into her, she drops her drink, he picks it up and gives it to her. This is the first time she is seeing him.
괜찮으세요?
And he sees her.
오 마이 갓. 존나 잘생겼잖아.
Okay, so flowers. That's what she drew on her. Are these writers doing this, all this foreshadowing? I mean, is this I'm amazed by the set direction. I mean, if they said, who thought of this convenience store being Destiny and putting it on that door? How many of us have noticed that? It's just the details. It makes me like, woo, okay. So now he's seen her. He sees the flowers exploding, everything. Oh, they're both like, oh, about each other, but they're so, oh, that they forget to exchange numbers and he just walks off. And then bye. Because they both were like stuck in the moment. Anyway, I want to point out that I think they put glasses on him to lower his hotness. Just saying, but she sees right through those glasses. We can't have that second couple overshadow the first, but sometimes it's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. Okay, that's episode 1. That's how it ends in episode 1. So episode 2, we're moving on. Okay, we'll never get through this. What time is it? Okay, so Temu, remember, he's told his grandpa he's gonna marry her. Okay, he calls and sets up another meet. Okay, and she agrees to it because Youngsa wants her to make it clear, because of the way she just ran off. She wants him to make it clear that they're not going to get married. They're not going to date. It's done, right? So she's like, you have to go and tell him. Now, he thinks, oh, she's changed her mind about me. I'm that good that she wants to see me again. And so he tells his it's funny. Anyway, he's going in with all his hopes up because he thinks, she's there to see him. And he calls her. He walks in the coffee shop where they're supposed to meet, and he calls her phone, and she it doesn't, her phone ring. I can't remember if she's on her phone or whatever, and it's ringing, and he's like a little confused. So he goes over, takes her phone from her, dials his number, rings his own number, so he now has her phone number, hands her phone number back, and she says, like, why do you need my number? And I am not kidding. He says, because we are going to get married. We are going to get married, so I have to have your phone number, and you need mine. And to be fair, these dates are supposed to be set up for this reason. The dates are supposed to be for this reason. And so I got to cut up some slack. But she tells him she doesn't want to marry anyone. She don't want to marry somebody she just met. And he tells her he thought she liked him, and throws in her face because she wanted to get a room with a man she only met once. Kind of shut her up. She says, I can't marry because, well, you wanted to like sleep with someone you just met. So anyway, and he points out that showing up the blind date in itself means that you're interested in getting married. So she tells him she was forced to go. She hates the idea of arranged marriages, and she gets up and leaves. I mean, she kind of tells him. Does he listen? No. He never takes no for an answer. He's not going to give up that easily. So he tells her, he chases her down, tells her, we should get married. Trust me. And she fires back that he shouldn't think of marriage as a joke and just marry anyone. To which he responds, are we ready for this? Who says I'm going to marry just anyone? I've been all over the world and you're the one I want. Wow. Wow. She says she's not going to marry someone she doesn't know. So, but I mean, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. He's been all over the world. And she's the one he wants. And you think, I mean, there are so many good lines. So many good lines. If there's any single people out there, you might want to write some of these down because I've been all over the world and you're the one I want. I'm not marrying just anyone. Just, my gosh. Okay, so he comes up with a play out of his grandfather's book. Let's see. I hope I haven't skipped anything. We'll see. It's running.
그럼 10번만 데이트합시다.
에?
나에 대해 알 기회 줄게요. 알고 보면 나 장점 많은 사람입니다. 그리고 다방면으로 잘합니다.
That's my favorite. I think that's my favorite line, but I'm not sure. It comes back several times. But he's like, she says she doesn't know him, so he's like, hey, date me 10 times. You won't be able to resist me. You'll see, I'm really good, very, very good. And then the lean in at many things. What's a girl gonna think when he does the lean in and says something like this? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, we know what she's thinking. And she does. It does occur to her, but she's got to ask, right? She's like,
뭘 잘한다는
oh, oh, oh. Okay. Now, my plan was to keep the pictures up there, but I'm not going to risk it anymore because it's not working the way I want it to work. So you just have to remember things in your mind. Anyway, so this is one of the tropes that appear in just about, I'm going to say in every rom-com. I'm just going to go out and say in every rom-com there's a fall and catch. At least one fall and catch. And a lot of times they fall and they catch them kind of like on the side, like this, and they look at each other. But this one is like face to face, like this, kind of intense. So it's a little bit different. But she still turns him down, tells him that she'd never marry him, and doesn't want to see him again. And because remember, she's supposed to be her friend, and her friend, that's, so she is responding like her friend would want her to respond. So she leaves. She's dressed as this alter ego, and she sees her ex-crush, which is a chef on the street. I don't know if I've told you about him or not yet. She tries to hide from him. Okay? She tries to hide from him because, think about this, because he would recognize her. Even though she was wearing the getup, he would recognize her. Tamu doesn't, but he would. So she's desperate. She sees him coming toward her, and what's she do? What every normal person would do. She jumps in the car that is driving down the street. My gosh. I mean, that's what normal people do, right? They see something coming and they just grab the first handle and open it up and jump into the car, right? That's what we do. Well, that's what they do in Kdrama rom-coms. And guess whose car it is? It's Tamu, right? The guy she just said, I never want to see you again, which is kind of funny. And I was going to skip this scene, but there's a reason to show it. So let's watch what happens.
그러니까 말해봐요. 왜 나랑 결혼하기 싫은지.
다 싫어요, 다. 막, 나 잘합니다. 어쩌고 그런 이상한 느끼한 멘트 하는 것도 싫고요. 또, 시조새 닮은 그 얼굴도 싫어요.
And the secretary jokes. Oh, he's so cute. Anyway, did you see the look? But it's like, and you look, and I'm not even going to say, I'm just going to call it a dinosaur. It's some kind of bird. It's some kind of big historic dinosaur bird. Okay, and you'll see it here in a minute. But it comes back. It is her ringtone for him. Her phone, the little monster comes up. When he says something or looks at something, they make the little screechy noise. It happens throughout the whole thing. So it's a running joke, and it's hilarious because he is dumbfounded. I'll show you. I'm going to show you this. Just can't go. He can't get over it.
이게 시조새입니다.
어디가 닮았다는 거야?
이 뭔가 느낌적인 느낌이 특히 코 굉장히 닮긴 한 것 같습니다만.
뭐?
와 진짜 닮았다.
Okay. You know, Temu has never heard anything negative about himself in his life, you can tell. And the fact that this guy who's so close to him, he is so close to him, is agreeing with this assessment that he looks like this dinosaur. He's dumbfounded. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. So, okay. So back to Hottie. She meets with her best friend and to tell how it went. And she says, I think he's fallen for you. And she's like, no, it's a business deal. They're chables. You know how that it is. So she says, you have to. Hottie tells her friend, you're going to have to meet with him and fess up and tell him because I can't do this anymore. You're going to have to tell him that I'm an actress, that you don't know me, you don't know anything. I work for some agency because she doesn't want to know that she's an employee. And so she agrees. You know, she sees that her friend is struggling, and she's done with it. She's gone on too. So she says, okay, she's gonna do it. What am I going to do here? So she sets a meeting with him, and he thinks hot ziggity because she called him for the meeting. So he's like thinking, all right, I'm just too good to pass up, and he tells Sung-hoon that, and he kind of looks at him and is like, you know, she thinks you are weird and this dinosaur thing, and he just kind of glares at him. And then what happens? That little sound happens. It's so funny. You just gotta rewatch it if you haven't seen it. Anyway, so 12 hours have passed since they met in the car and discussed the dinosaur, and she's back at work. He's back at work, and I'll just this girl. She sees him. She runs. There goes her chancla. Oh no! Oh no!
저 흰색감은
He's got a bloody nose. His nose is bleeding. So there's this long chase. They chase after each other, and he finally catches up to her in an elevator. All right, now this is when I'm gonna say Blarney's bone. Let's just watch. Now, he gets in that elevator with her, and she kind of stays sideways, but still you can see the side of her face. and they have a conversation. She's got the same voice, right? She's just, again, same height, same voice, same all these things. And at one point, he looks and he sees her name tag. And he's done some investigation and he knows who she is and all the things she's done for the company. And he is, he's very impressed by her and her work. And she turns to him and faces him and she goes like, oh, and such and such and such and such. Now he doesn't like necessarily turn and look at her like it's ever slow, whatever. But I'm saying, Blarney Stone. Blarney Stone. He should have known, or at least said, "Do you have a sister?" I mean, come on. But I know. We just have to suspend belief. We have to suspend belief. It's a K-drama rom-com. Okay. Anyway, the plot thickens. Um, Youngsa is going to meet Temu, and she has a little fender bender. And who gets out of the car that she hits? But Seung Hoon. Oh, and she's, you know, excited because here he is. He's in front of her. She didn't know his name. She doesn't know anything about him. She pulls out her business card because she's got a meeting she's got to go to. So here's my number. Call me maybe. And she does not know that she is Temu's secretary. And he looks at her card and says her name out loud. And it's like, what? Are you saying you're so and so? And she goes, yeah, that's me. You know my name. You can call me. And he is like, what is happening? And about that time, Temu comes out and he says, you're a fraud because I have been dating the real Jungsa. Oh. Anyway, so obviously he now knows because she was going to tell him anyway, but he now knows that this is some other fake person. And so she tries to say, oh, I don't know her. I hired her from an agency. I do this all the time. And I don't know. Well, he catches her in a lie. I'm not going to go. It's about her purse. And it's not necessary. But he catches her in a lie and he says, I know you know her. Who is she? Type of thing. He goes, I want to meet with her. And so he goes, if you don't let me meet with her, I'm going to tell your father that you've been doing this. And she can't let that happen. So she agrees. So she kind of like throws her friend under the bus. And she takes her shopping, does all the stuff, getting her makeup on and everything. And then she's like, why are you doing this? And finally she says, you're going to meet with him. He knows the gig's up. And he wants to talk to you and a bye. And she takes off and she's like, what? Because it's right before they're supposed to meet. And she's all flustered when she goes to meet them. She spills her purse. All her little fried chicken restaurant cards come out. He picks one up. Anyway, what he wants to know really is two things. He wants to know how much she got paid to scam him. And he's angry about that. And she tries to tell him it's not really a scam. I just pretended to be somebody else. He goes, it's fraud. She's like, because he's very smart. And so she explained that she did it for the money because her paycheck wasn't going to cover this expense that she had. And he goes, oh. So he asked her where she worked. So she had to lie about that, right? And then he says, now, what I really want to know is why. And she says, why what? Because she's already told him. And he goes, why the dinosaur? This really, really is driving him insane. Why the dinosaur? And she says, oh, it was just random. It was just random. It just came out. I just really didn't think about it. And he goes, oh, it's random, and he's feeling okay. She goes, but come to think of it, oh my gosh, she starts digging the hole. She says, you have long limbs and a small face and kind of pointy nose, and he's he really is about ready to blow a gasket. And so she apologizes to him because she can see, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. She was pretty excited about herself thinking about that. But and then he says, she apologizes, whatever I can do for you, I'll do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't have money, but, I'll do whatever you want me to do. Just let me know. He says, well, in that case, oh, he goes, wait a minute, I forgot this. He asks, well, what is your name? Dun, dun, dun. She can't say Shinhari because he knows Shinhari, right? So she says Shin, and then she realizes, and the first name that came to her head was a character that is on a K-drama series that's happening, that her parents watch and that his grandfather watches. And so she picked the name is it Gumhui? Yeah, Gumhui, Shin Gumhui, and Hui, and that's where she comes up with the name. So he says, if I call you, you better answer. You better not run away, because basically he knows where she's got the card. I know where you live. And so I expect you to answer whenever I call you. So they each go to their homes. And he calls her at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. She wakes up, and he says, like, Gumhui. She's like, uh-huh. And then she realizes, oh, okay, what's going on? And he goes, oh, are you sleeping? And he says, I just want to make sure you're going to answer my call. Okay. Hangs up, and it shows him sitting on his couch. He's watching a documentary on that dinosaur. He didn't call her to see if she answered. He called her for revenge. He knew that she was sleeping at 4 a.m. Anyway, okay, so now the next thing I want to talk about is the one thing that drives me crazy in rom-coms. Oh, triangles. I hate them. I hate them so much. And they're usually really, really bad. This one isn't real bad, but it becomes bad in a different way. Um, so she's got this ex-crush who's a chef. Yes. And on her birthday, he asks to see her. And she thinks, and her friend thinks too, oh, he's going to move from the friend zone to romance. It's been 7 years, right? He's had this one on again girl, and from what she knows, he's off. And so she's thinking, he's invited me over. He knows it's my birthday. It's going to be special, special. His friend saw him get a piece of jewelry. She thinks, oh, the jewelry's for me. So she has her hopes up. And she gets her heart broken. And he gives her concert tickets so that she can take somebody to a concert, to a group that they used to listen to together. Happy birthday, right? Not, I'm going to take you, but here's concert tickets. Take somebody else. No jewelry for her. So she's really let down. She's really sad because she had her hopes up. Anyway, remember, she's the one she hid from into Tamu's car because he would recognize her. Okay, another triangle that we have that's not really a triangle is Young So's cousin. They work in the same company. They have the same taste. They always show up, work in the same clothes. They're very competitive. The cousin doesn't like to work very much, and Young So is all about work. And so they're always just like with each other. Um, and so she will uh, get involved with Sung Hoon in a way. And that happened later on. We'll kind of talk about it. But there's nothing serious about that one either. So those are like the two triangles, and they're not real intense, but that's another thing. Um, okay, so Temu had to go home to his grandfather and say he's not going to marry the girl because obviously she's not Youngsa, right? But he doesn't tell them that. She says, I'm not going to marry her. And so, oh, really? Grandpa says, you're not marrying her? Guess what? Blind dates. And he arranges him to go on 10 blind dates in one day because he's like, I don't have time for this. He goes, you're going to do them all in one day. And he hates it. He does it. But they're all the same. You know, they're all the girls that oh, I know, he gives them the 10 dates and then he goes, and if you hate all of them, here's a whole folder of more that we're going to go to. So he goes to them. um, he doesn't really want to, so he's he wants to get back with her, so he doesn't have to go on these blind dates. So he calls her. Remember, she's got to answer. He calls her and he's like, I've got a deal. Let's meet. And she lies about some stuff, and they meet at a really funny place. I'm not even going to talk about it. It's really funny. Um, anyway, he wants her to fake date him to meet his grandfather. So his grandfather won't bother him anymore about blind dates. And she would be using her real name, the Gwun Hu, or the Gwun Hui. That's a name that she can use because he knows she's not the Jungsa. So anyway, he's like, let's do this because I need my grandfather off my back. Anyway, let's see. She was gonna tell him. This is important. She was gonna tell him that she couldn't do it because she worked for him. But this is what happened. I hope this is the right one. I hope I haven't missed any.
우리 내일 얘기해요.
Oh boy. Oh, so he says, you need to date me. I will pay you. It'll be good for you, and I to get my grandfather off my back and all that stuff. And she's like, no, and she's about ready to say, I can't do it um, because I'm an employee, and her brother comes up, and she sees, and she doesn't want her brother to see him, so she kind of like, you got to leave, and he fell backwards, and of course now their lips touch. Okay, this is a classic trope. This is another thing that happens on K-drama rom-coms, and so we had to have it. Okay, and you think, okay, they do that, but business proposal says, we gotta take it up a notch. Here's the brother.
강태호 씨 빨리 일어나요.
She headbutts him.
강태호 씨.
She knocks him unconscious. She headbutts him. Okay, so that's how episode 2 ends and episode 3 begins, is with the headbutt. And okay, so now she's gonna have to do this because he threatens to sue her for this injury. She knocked him out. So he blackmails her to do this, sign this contract. So let me see. Let's here's where he.
자, 실장. 법무팀이 연락해서 바로 고소 진행해.
할게요. 예, 알았어요. 할게요. 성격이 급하시네요.
Now, what I don't think I have here is that there's a clause in there. If she breaks the contract, she has to pay them back 100 times the amount that she's paid, which there's no way that she's going to be able to do that. She has to learn all about his life, all the awards, all the school, all the whole thing. She's got it because she's his girlfriend. Come back, and so they've even created a backstory. Let's see, am I on the right one? Yes. Yes. So she's got to memorize all this so that she's believable. And they even have a backstory for her that they met in New York while he was working. And her dad's a lawyer, mother's a doctor, brother's in med school, all the Chable things, all the wealthy things you want. And so uh, he says you can't make any mistakes, and there's a deal. She's very proud of herself because she has looked up the weather on the day they supposedly met, and it was raining, and so she has this really beautiful story about how they met in the rain, and he tells her, or she tells him, and he gets angry. He says, "No, you're gonna have to choose a different day because rain. It's not gonna work with rain," type of thing. Well, that kind of went in one ear and out the other for her. But she's working really hard and she's exhausted, and he sees this, and he feels bad. He's feeling bad for her, and then this happens.
구구구구구구구. 드디어 광복이랑 금이가 연결이 됐네. 오.
Did I tell you this? That she's named after that, and because the writers are so smart, they are just making fun of themselves on this. They will show snips from this K drama. Either the parents are watching it or grandfather's watching it, and it's doing what's happening to them in their real life. And so, like I said, it's a trope. They do it all the time. So here they have a picture of these two falling and landing on their lips, and he's thinking, "Oh my gosh, that just happened to me in my real life." So, and he still doesn't catch on to the grandpa calling her the name that this lady's going by. I don't think it's that common in a name, but maybe it is. Anyway, those writers, they are something else. Okay, now, remember, there's a couple things. You got to remember that there was a fender bender between Sung Hyun and, was it Young Suh? Okay. And so he knows her deceit has hurt Taemu. And now Young Suh has met with her father and refused any more blind dates because she wants to marry for love, and she's not going to be in an arranged marriage. He gets mad. This is normal for Chable. He kicks her out, takes her credit cards, her cars, her money, and he says, "You're on your own." And she's like, "Fine." So she's got to find a place to live that she can afford on her salary. And she just happens to rent an apartment right next door to Seung Hung. But she doesn't know it. She doesn't know it. So, you remember Destiny? Love it. Anyway, Hadi's identity's almost busted at work because she's got to give a presentation about this white kimchi ravioli that the chef has come up with, and she's recommended because she's friends with the guy, right? And she's like, "Ooh, we should do this." And so she's got to give a presentation, and he likes it. Oh, it's in front of the president. So she starts coughing and wears a mask. Because we can't tell, right? Um, and he's like, yeah, yeah, we're going to do that. So she goes over to meet the chef to do paperwork and talk about the presentation and how it all went. And she walks in with the papers in her hand just in time to see the chef kiss his on again girlfriend. And remember, she was just heartbroken that he wasn't ready to get out of the friend zone, but he didn't know at that time, she didn't know at the time he was back with his girlfriend. So she saw him kiss, and this just like, uh. And so she says, oh, you guys are busy, and she leaves. And she's carrying all the papers, and gets hit. Something drops him in the street, in the sewer. Drops her phone. Temu calls her. It's in the sewer. She doesn't know. Someone's trying to help her pick up, then leaves. She's picking up. She just starts crying. She just loses it because she truly is heartbroken right now. This is like the nail in the coffin. It's not gonna happen. And here she's got all the papers that she's helping him with his life, and this just happens to her. Temu Temu hears her crying, and she's doing all this for him. She's exhausted. That's why he called her, because he's like concerned for her. And then he hears her crying. He's like, why is she crying? He's a softie. The next day, though, is the day that she's supposed to meet the grandfather. All right. Grandpa makes an assumption right off the bat.
이런 반가워요.
Okay, so what you don't see right there is he turned to the lady who seated them, was bringing them into. She's got the short hair. She looks like what he was expecting, and he goes, "No, this is my girlfriend." And so she's nodding. I'm looking at his face. Okay, what do you think? Do you think that he's thinking, this is an upgrade? Or do you think that he's worried because she doesn't seem to fit the mold of all the girls he has on his list, right? Because all the other girls some of them might be attractive, but they are just on the list. But Grandpa, he wants to know. He's got to know quickly these things. Oh gosh, we're not going to make it through. He wants to know the important things. So let's see some of the questions he asked.
우리 태무 사랑해요.
Do you love him?
하도 일에 미쳐 살아서 헤어지자
When-
집어넣고 잠수 탔었거든요. 근데 글쎄 중요한 스케줄 펑크 내고 절 만나러 달려왔더라니까요.
아니, 이 녀석이 스케줄을 펑크 내고 갔다고요?
네.
So she explains that he basically workaholic, put work above her, and she but when he took a meeting, or didn't take a meeting but met with her, then she knew that he had his priorities straight, and he thought that was pretty good. It made sense to him. It made sense to the grandpa. Then let's see what's the next one. I'm trying to run through here.
이건 참고로 그날 뉴욕 날씨 검색해둔 나온 팩트예요.
A lot of yellow umbrellas in K-dramas, and so she told the story with the rain, and he got PO'd. He was not happy about it. But I love the way the writers have again put the tropes in there, and This is when it gets funny. Okay, so he's mad at her. So let's look to see what's going on with our second couple. Now remember, she's moved in next door, but she does not know. Um, she does not know he lives next door. Not yet.
무슨 일입니까?
Okay, what you don't see is there's a cockroach, right? She is screaming her lungs out and just runs out full speed, jumps up and throws her legs around his waist. As we all do. I mean, we see things that are scary, and we in public we just run out in public and jump or throw our legs around someone. That's perfectly normal to do. That's what she did, and God bless her for doing that. Okay, so she's scared to death of cockroaches.
죄송해요. 지금 다른 건 다 괜찮은데 벌레를 진짜 무서워요.
Okay, I'm just gonna let this run. Look at his face.
네. 깜짝이야. 제가 마무리하겠습니다. 내 뒤로 물러나겠습니다.
Acting so brave. He's scared of cockroaches too. Could you see his face? Oh, the whole scene. You need to go watch the whole scene again. It's great. Anyway, get behind me. Yeah, I'll protect you, type of thing. So anyway, so I mean, he saved her. He saved her. How great is that, right? So she's expecting we can put the past behind us. Mm. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Look at her hand. Mm. She puts out her hand like, hey, let's be friends. And he's like, can't do it. You know, you hurt my friend, and I can't do it. Can't be disloyal to him. So, sad, sad, sad. Anyway, while they're cooling off, the other two have started pretend dating, and after meeting your grandfather a second time, he finds those concert tickets. And he says, oh, you guys have a concert to go to. And they're looking at each other, and he goes, here, I'll drive you. And he won't leave until they go inside the concert. So they go inside the concert. Okay. They go inside the concert. The chef has, unbeknownst to her, written a dedication to her because she's been his friend for 7 years, and he just hopes that she finds someone for herself. And I mean, they put a spotlight on them too. And the guy who's reading the dedications says, well, I see at least you brought a date. Like, how embarrassing. Anyway, he's sitting there like this, and she's like, hi. They start playing the song and it's called Love Maybe, and it's a song for the business proposal. I love it. I love the song. And she starts crying. And he whips out a handkerchief and hands it to her. How many men nowadays carry handkerchiefs? Does anyone? Because I'm thinking, if you're watching this and you're dating age, you need to carry a handkerchief, because you just never know when someone might burst down to you. You don't have to carry it every day. That'd be too much, right? But you might want to start carrying around if you're dating, because you never know when you're going to need that. So after the concert, two things happen. First of all, he gets to know her a little bit better. He calls her on it. He says, how did you hold it in? He knew by the way she responded it was a one-sided crush, that she had feelings for him for 7 years. And he felt like he doesn't do anything but waste his time. And she goes, it wasn't a waste of time. It was, how did she put it? It was valuable and precious to her. And it wasn't a waste of time. And I think that's a good attitude. She's spoken like a woman ready to move on. And this is what happens. She also, while this is playing,
근데 7년간
there he goes.
혼자 짝사랑한 겁니까?
그렇게 티가 많이 났어요?
사람이랑 그쪽 눈물 조합해 보면 뻔한 거 아닙니까?
Okay, so I'm going to let it run because we just talked about that. She can't get a break. She gets hit in the eye with a baseball. Okay, all right, but let's go back real quick. She gives him the gift that she got for the tickets, and they're worry dolls. It's a boy and a girl worry doll. She doesn't know that she just gives him the bag, and he has a relationship with those worry dolls. It's very precious and it's funny, and it'll come up again and again. Uh, but anyway, so she gets hit in the eye with a baseball. So, do you think it's going to be healed up when she goes to work in the morning? Hmm. Hmm. Let's see. Well, face to face. Okay. Okay. Now, Blarney Stone, I mean, what are the odds that the woman he's dating, that is the same height, facial, voice, everything, and she's got her the same eye covered and says it's a sty? Really? Really? Anyway, that's the end of episode 3. Episode 4 is starting. Oh, we're not going to make it. Oh my gosh, we're already at 9:31. It's going to be a little longer. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll just skip through these two. Okay, so Blarney Stone. I've got a quick rundown on the chef. What's going on with him? After Hadi suggested Temu's tastes the chef's special white kimchi ravioli and loves it, the clues are dropped. They've known each other since college. They work together. Then Se-hyun tells him that he heard employees talking about her having a crush on him for 7 years. Now they're talking about Shin Hari. They're not talking about Goon Hui, right? He can't figure out that Shin Hari is the one that he's dating, even though it all lines up. 7-year crush, the chef, the whatever. He just thinks, well, it's a coincidence. Okay. Uh, then I'm like, dude, wake up. He hires the chef to be spokesperson, and she takes this recipe and she's trying to make it into like the instant, like the pre-packaged foods that we all love now. And the chef, asked her about the concert, and he was surprised that she had a date. How about that? And he was jealous. And then he says he wants to meet the guy and check him out. And she tells him, you just pay attention to your own girlfriend. Way to go. She shuts him down. That's what I mean. It's not really a triangle, because she's like, dude, I can take care of myself. You take care of your own girlfriend. Wow. And she tells him that. So I think that's good. Temu meets with his grandfather, and he is told that he needs to be married by the end of the year, or he'll have to have meals with him twice a week. And that scares him, believe it or not. And then he reminds his grandson of a very important thing, that he forgot his fake 1-year anniversary is coming up. Now, he didn't say fake. Okay. Now, it's fake to Temu, but to the grandfather, it's their 1-year anniversary, and he needs to take her out and make it real nice. So the next day, they're doing a commercial shoot. It's a funny thing that happens with the grandpa and Shin Hari. She won't get out of the bathroom. She pushes him in some water. He's soaked. He gets her name, Shin Hari. And remember, she was on he keeps running into her, Shin Hari. Okay. Anyway, a few things with our second couple. There's a neighbor who she catches with her mail, and he goes, "Oh, it was in my box here." Gives it to her. I don't know about that. And Sung Hoon sees this, and he's thinking, "I don't know about that." Then she goes to the gym. Sung Hoon's there at the gym. He gives her the cold shoulder. She's like, she's lusting after him, watching him on the machines, like, he's so my type. Guess who's there? The neighbor. The neighbor. Oh, I'll help you with your workout. Sung Hyun doesn't like this. He does not like this at all. He's got real. Then later the guy gives her a lamp. like a welcome to the building lamp or whatever. And again, he's like, Sung Hyun's like, no, yeah. Okay, so now we're back to number one. He asked her to go out with him, and he takes her to an exclusive boutique and picks out the clothes for their 1 year anniversary. Um, so, this one, we'll look at this. Trying to do this really fast. Here's the dress he picks out. Look at his face. Hook, line, and sinker. She's oblivious. She's just smiling. And he's like, oh my God. Oh, it's like wow. So, they go on a date on a restaurant where he developed the menu and cooked the meal. Must I remind you, he is good at many things. Turns out he's a chef. He's also a chef. Yeah, her dress rips. He covers her. Okay, here's the next trope. The next trope is they go out. There's fireworks. Isn't that sweet? Fireworks. What always happens? The girl looks at the fireworks and says, "Oh, they're so pretty." And the guy looks down at her while she's looking at the fireworks, usually, and says, "Yes, it is pretty." Looking at the girl, right? This one, she says, "I didn't know these were, only seen them on TV. Oh, they're so pretty. Don't you think so?" And he says, "Yes, they're pretty." And then he looks at her, she looks at him, and he says, "Very pretty." They usually don't look at each other, but they did. Hey, how about that? Oh, and she giggles. Oh, she liked it. She giggled. Anyway, but you know, in rom-coms, when things get good, they always take a turn for the worse, and we're going to go there now. Okay, they have a great day. He drops her off in front of the parents' restaurant. He leaves, but he sees her wallet in his car, so he's got to go back to return her wallet. In the meantime, she's already gone in, stripped off the wig, put on her hottie clothes, helping clean up, goes outside with the trash. Someone says, "Hey, hottie." He arrives, he gets out of his car. "Hey, hottie." And he looks at her. You know, she doesn't see him. He opens up her wallet. Shin hottie. And he looks at her, and he looks at this, and he calls her. Calls the number he has for Goon Hui. And she answers, "Hello." She knows it's him. So she, "Hello." And he's just like stunned. He just hangs up. He ditches her wallet so that someone else can take it to her because he's not going to see her. He is devastated, but he is so angry. He is so angry. So here we go. So you can see. I don't know why the sound's not working. He doesn't take it well. That's an understatement. Um, so here we go. Let's watch what he does. Remember I told you about this worry dolls, the special dolls? There they are. He's so mad. Oh! Oh, man. Oh, he is mad. That's the end of episode 4. Okay. Okay, I'll just go go for it. Okay, I'm gonna start reading this to make go fast. Okay, episode 5. It says, so he's gonna set a trap for her. He's mad. Although he rationalizes that he's giving her a chance to come clean, he meets with her and asks her different questions. What's her name mean? All these things, hoping that she'll come clean, but she doesn't. She continues to lie. And now he's out for blood. He really is. So he schedules a meeting to meet with her team, and this is what he does to her. Why?
제품 기획자로서 책임지고 단가는 낮추되 맛은 고급스럽게 영양 밸런스 완벽하면서 상업적으로 잘 팔리도록 다시 만들라고요. 알겠습니까?
네, 알겠습니다.
Oh man. And no one understands his behavior because what she had created was perfect. And so everybody is feeling sorry for her. And she's over and over and over and doing different things and doing it and taking it to him. And he's like, no, no, no. Sometimes he won't even. And then, so he is running her ragged. It's pretty bad. It's pretty intense. Um, the chef is doing commercials. So he's around. All right. He's around. He sees Hadi and they go to the company dining hall to have lunch. And while they're there, guess who's there? It's the three musketeers. And look at the way he looks at her.
요즘 국회 뭘로 활동하고 있지?
And him.
괜히 내가 그날 꽤 한산하네.
이게 여기 원래 완전 미어 터지는데.
Okay, I'm just going to keep it running. And then we'll talk about. He has so much trouble drinking. You'll see that. It's like the second time he's choked. Okay, so the grandfather is really invested in Woon Hui. He really likes her, and so he's asking about her, and that's why he's like, because there's the girl that looks like him. Okay, later that night, and I don't even have this. I don't know where it is. He goes to the chef's restaurant for a meal, and his ringtone is that song "Love Maybe." So he's like, he also tortures Hadi by trying to make her go to the founding ceremony because she's won an award, because she's so awesome. She's won an award. But then he invites her as Woon Hui to come to be like his date, and she tries to get out of it. He goes, if you don't, there's a penalty clause. And she's like, ah. Then he says he invites her family, so her family's coming. And she is like losing sleep and she's going nuts, to having all the nightmares about how this is all gonna explode. And and he's relishing it. Oh, he is relishing it. Okay, he is at Sung Hoon's apartment when he has packages that he gives to. He doesn't. I'm just gonna skip over that. But anyway, he yells at Youngsa and to try to keep things, whatever. It didn't go over well. So now he's drawn a line. That's the thing. He has drawn a line. He tells her, you know, I can't have anything to do with you. I've drawn this line. Okay. Hari has a team with the dinner, or with a team dinner. She's trying to give this award away because she doesn't want to go as Hari to this founding ceremony. She's just like, yeah, you deserve this. Here, just take this award. It's crazy. She gets drunk. Okay. Woo, that happens a lot in K-dramas. A lot of drunk people in K-dramas also. So when you're drunk, one of the places you go to is a playground. So I'm trying to remember why. I know. I don't know if she drunk calls him or whatever, but he's on the phone and he can hear her yelling at some kids who are smoking. And she's obviously drunk and he's worried. I mean, he might be mad, but he still worries about her. So he tracks her down. There she is in the slide. Okay, and I'm going to let it run. I'm just going to tell you. Okay, so she's obviously drunk. She thinks it's a dream, and she even says, because if it was real life, you wouldn't come here to help me. And so she confesses her secret to Temu, that she is Shinhari, and how good it feels to tell him how sorry she was, and she wanted to tell him the truth. And she apologizes, and she thinks she's apologizing to Dream Temu, but it's the real life guy. And he he melts. He melts. He sees it's been a struggle for her, and so, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? I tell you what he's gonna do. Ah, I don't know what's wrong with the sound. Sounds have stopped too. This is really infuriating. Oh, uh-oh, it's a trope. Face to face. Almost like a fall, right? And they keep doing it like intense. Intense. Okay, so she's going to the bathroom. Okay, so what happens is he calls her and he fires her as Shin Gun Hui. He's like, I don't want you to do that anymore. Like he fires her, and he tries to forget about her. So he goes on some trips, and he can't forget. He keeps hallucinating. He sees her everywhere, even though he's not even in the country. Um, and so, oh, I hear the creeper with the lamp. Let's just call him. We'll go to this real quick. She is Youngsa is finds a camera. It breaks. She finds there's a camera in there. She's gonna take it all to the police station. She calls and says, "Hey, I've got the evidence." The creeper sees what she's got, takes it from her, and he runs and he starts throwing things out like the lose the evidence. Sung Hyun, da da da, knight in shining armor, chases him down and kind of gets him down on the ground pretty hard. Anyway, takes him to the police station, and he calls Temu to let him know, like, he can't do what he was doing because this is what's going on. Hadi, dressed as Gwon Hui, even though he fired her, the grandfather likes Gwon Hui and wanted to see her. So she's dressed as Gwon Hui, and she's going to meet the grandfather. So's Temu. He sees her, and he calls her Shinhari. He says, your friend just is, at the police station, something's happened, you need to call her. And he calls her Shinhari, and she's like, what did you call me? Because she's dressed up as Gwon Hui. And so he lets her know, Shinhari. He says it 2 or 3 times. So they go down the police station anyway. So now she knows why he was so mad at her, because why he put her through all of that, because he's known that she had lied to him. So she understands, and that's the end of 5. And what we saw was he's come back, and now he's like, well, let's do this special project. So he rents out an entire theater to watch a movie that involves a food researcher in the U.S. Baloney. Anyway, what happens? Oh, do I have it here? Let me see. Oh, I didn't include it. Anyway, there's a little funny scene. Episode 6. We have made it. Here we go. Episode 6. Before this starts, just look at this lovely couple. Anyway, they're at the police station. This guy's going to get off with a slap on the wrist. It's very sick. Until Temu gets his investigators, and he pulls up all the dirt on this guy. He's been doing this to women all over the place, and he ends up making it. He's going to go to prison for a long time. The guy's like, please, please, it'll ruin my life. He goes, have you thought about the people? Anyway, hero right there. Anyway, he wants to go all in on this relationship. He really likes her, and so he's going to ask her to be his fiance. Oh my gosh, he buys the jewelry, rents out a restaurant, has flowers, cakes, violin, the whole 9 yards. But Hadi, he thinks, is going to be a business meeting because he's going to fire her because he knows that she's Hadi, And so she shows up, whole different mindset. And before he's got a signal for all this stuff to come in and happen to give her the jewelry and all that stuff. Anyway, she says, "Let me talk." And so she says, hands in her resignation. And she goes, "But wait a minute." So she stands up. She's got this whole presentation that she gives him as to the reasons why he shouldn't accept that resignation, because she's too good of an employee, because of all these things. And so he's just like, what is going on? This is, this is not what he was planning. And he goes like this, which is because he's like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" Well, that happens to be the signal for all this stuff to come in. So here comes the cake and the flowers and the champagne and the violinist, and he's trying to, like, no, 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 while she's telling all this stuff. Anyway, he was able to stop them from coming, but it's pretty hilarious when she's just there about the job and he's there for love, and they can't seem to get that together. Next day, she comes in, he rips up the resignation. He goes, "You're too valuable of an employee." So now we have Mean Girls. Oh, Mean Girls. Okay, Mean Girls. One of them is the chef's Onegin girlfriend, and then her little group. And they have a little reunion, and it involves her and her best friend. And they're all talking about their wonderful lives, and she's kind of keeping quiet. But her bestie over here says, "Oh, yeah, she's got a boyfriend. He's rich, he's handsome, all these things." And she's like, "Huh, yeah." And they said, "Well, we're getting together. We're having this weekend. You should come." And she's, "Oh, no, I've got things I'm doing with my boyfriend." So she thinks, "Oh, I won't have to do anything." So just remember that. Um, let's see. The creeper, the incident, has left young So with PTSD. She cannot go to the bathroom anywhere except her house. She's scared of creepers, and they show several instances of this. And she's walking. She's at a bus station. She's really got to go, a bus stop, and Sung Hyun sees her. And he says, "Why don't you come and get in the car, and I'll take you home. Be faster." Oh, they hit traffic. She's about dying. She's sweating bullets. He doesn't know what's going on with her, but she just says, "I gotta go." She jumps out of the car, starts like, "I gotta find a bathroom," and um, she goes into an office building, and she's like banging on doors, and she tries to get into the bathroom, and it's locked. Just in time, Sung Hyun shows up, and he's like, she goes, "I had sleep." She's so embarrassed because she's just gonna lose it right there. And he goes, bam! He breaks open that door for her to go in the bathroom, and he stands there. Anyway, um, she's totally embarrassed by this now. So now, just think about that. Okay. Oops, we did the face. Oh, good. We're moving on. We're moving on. Okay. He's not one to give up, though, right? So what he does is he cranks it up a notch. He looks into all her social media and sees all the places she wants to go, things she wants to eat, and he plans this weekend as a work trip. We know it isn't, but she doesn't, because she's so oblivious. Holy smokes. Anyway, so they go to first place, and they can't get in. It's done for the day. And then he goes, "Well, let's just go walk on the beach." Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm.
선남선녀 커플이 딱 여기 올 것 같아서 내가 왔어.
Okay, so he's paid this guy to be there because this is her favorite thing she's wanted to try, this burger thing. And he's paid. He's like, "Oh, there you are." Was paid, and he's like, Don't don't break the illusion." So so that's he's done that. Uh, then we see Young Seo at the local bar and restaurant, and Sung Hoon comes in, sits next to her, and she's so embarrassed. So you have that line drawn. There's a whole thing about that. Again, I don't have time. You just need to watch it. Um, but he's worried about her because she's getting drunk, big time drunk. Okay. He tries to give her water.
저기 여기 소주랑 맥주
She
한
wants to
병씩
drink
더 드실까요?
more.
네, 알겠습니다. 잠시만요.
He pours her water. She's like, "Ugh, there's a line. What are you doing? You gotta push that back over to his side of the line." Well, she's got to leave sometime, so he follows her. She almost gets run over by a scooter. He helps her.
그러니까 따라왔죠.
아이 나한테 철없을 언제? 아이 또 나한테 잘해줘요.
Yeah, she's confused because he's been a jerk to her, and now he's nice. And I'm gonna say, um, it's kind of like their flashback to their when they first met. But she tells him, you know, you've treated me this way, and now you're being nice to me. Let's see. You don't have to worry. Oh, we're not going to do it. Okay. I don't know what happened, but I will tell you. That's disappointing. My favorite clips aren't here. I wonder what's going on. Anyway, this actually is the end of 6 going into 7. So I'm so disappointed. I'll have to see if I can find it for next week. Those two, I said, don't feel too bad because they end up, they make up, they make out, they make and well, you know what I mean. It ends well for them that evening of her being drunk, and so we're giving them some privacy, and we're looking at him. Okay, this is gonna be quick. So they're happy. They're happy. Again, they're having burgers. They're happy. They're in the car. They're driving home, and all of a sudden it starts raining. He starts panicking. He starts having like hearing things and whatever. He pulls the car over and tells her, "Get out. You got to find your own way home." It's pouring down rain. She has no umbrella. Her phone is dead, type of thing. She's getting out of the car in the middle of nowhere, pouring down rain. There's a bus stop she goes to. She finds a broken umbrella. She can't call a cab. She can't call anybody because her phone is dead. The buses have stopped running. She can't call a cab. So she looks and sees a hotel. She walks in the rain to this. It's miserable for him. And he's just like, "I've got a meeting. You need to get out." I mean, really, he told her she had a meeting and he needed to get out. And she said, "But whatever." It was ugly. Anyway, he this stops raining. Okay, they show him he's over on the side of the road. He's having flashbacks of his parents' accident, which happened during the rain, and he's hyperventilating. He's has whatever. It stops raining. He gets a hold of himself. He starts calling her. It's remember her phone was dead. She went to the hotel. She asked him to plug it in for her. So what we don't know at this time is that he's called her phone and the hotel is answered. So he knows where she is. So he comes and he hears, guess what? The mean girls are at this hotel and they are doubting that she has this boyfriend anyway. And they are like, "Where is he?" Oh, you know, and all that stuff. He hears it. And look what he does.
반갑습니다. 아니 남자친구 알게모라고 합니다.
Look at her face.
안녕하세요.
Like, what are you doing? So I'm gonna end it there. I'll just pick up from there because that is pretty darn close to the end. I love their facial expressions, or the end of 6. I love the facial expressions. I will look for my favorite. I don't know what happened to him. I rendered this. It should have all worked, but for some reason, even the sound is funky. I don't know what's going on with that. Um, but he's pretending to be her boyfriend, which he really wants to be. And it, episode 7, is hilarious. It's got the best lines. I even asked my husband the other day, what was that line? And we kind of used it. So um, it's there's a lot of good lines in here in this um, in this series. I should write them all up and post them someday. There's maybe one a day just to let you see. So we'll do 7 through 12 next time. I'll try to, now that I know how this goes, instead of 2 hours, we'll get it in an hour and a half. I just wanted to show you that my plan had been to do Hotel de Luna next week, but of course that's not going to happen because we're going to finish this up. And then we have Thanksgiving. So the week after Thanksgiving, we'll start with Hotel de Luna. And I'm learning from this experience. So I'm going to try to figure out how to do Hotel de Luna. It's 16 episodes. It's a long one. So make sure you're watching it. You have a little extra time now since I was going to do it next week. I think that's it, right? I hope you had some laughs today. I know it was fast and furious. Hang in there with me. We'll get better. I'll figure this out. And until then, keep binging.